Welcome back, episode 30. Oh, I'm lost. 5, I want to say. Let's go with 5. Yep, it is 5. Oh, I'm the best. 35 revisited. Going back to Totally Not Mark. He recently put out a video, Dragon Ball versus One Piece, which is better. It's kind of weird to do that type of thing because it's going to be pure opinion. I'm sure he's going to come with examples of like what he's talking about, why one is better than the other, and blah, 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 blah. But there's no real way to tell what's better than any other thing.
No, there is. One Piece is better.
Oh, yeah, you're correct, though.
But yeah, I saw him defending it on Twitter, and there was a lot of opinions and subjective and things of that nature.
Here's the thing, though. When people put out things like this, and then other people go, it's their opinion or it's my opinion, why are you talking about it? It's also my opinion to talk about your opinion. In my opinion, your opinion is incorrect, and here's why I believe so.
People act like you can't talk about people's opinions.
Dude, Manga Comment is getting it right now. He talked about some dude talking about villains in movies and stuff, and how they can't be
Critical
villains.
drinker.
Yeah, and how they can't be villains. And then there's people coming at his neck like, you can't.
Yeah, he always gets it. I don't know what, but he's a very big lightning rod for that sort of thing.
So
I'm very interested in his arguments here because I heard a snippet. Really?
I'm not. Because beyond, I can't even say the action of Dragon Ball is better because once it gets to a certain point, it's literally just punching and kicking and big energy blasts. Mm-hmm. So what in Dragon Ball could be better?
It's going to be nostalgia. It's going to be cultural impact.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be iconic because there's more iconic villains like Cell and Frieza and stuff than anything in One Piece. A bunch of buzzwords of the day fitted into Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
But we might be wrong. Don't make that face.
His avatar is a Dragon Ball avatar.
You are correct.
He's going to do whatever he can.
That Art of the Fighting video was really bad. Because he tried to slot, Dragon Ball started this thing that's been around for decades.
That's the type of person that he is. So what are you talking about? We know exactly what's going to happen here.
I guess so. Let's just get into it then.
Goku!
Luffy!
You son of a bitch!
Goku or Luffy? New school or old school? Dragon Ball or One Piece? Both of these franchises have at one time or another carried Shounen Jump on their respective backs. Both have set records in their time and both are recognized the world over as juggernauts in their industry. But which one is better? And moreover, what makes me qualified enough to answer that question? Well, over the course of my career on YouTube,
Nobody in the world could be qualified enough to answer that question. It's just which is better. It's pure opinion.
I mean, there are some objective things that can be quantified. Like, if DBZ did not have any music and One Piece did, or maybe DBZ had like one track that it looped over and over and over again, you could say that One Piece has the better music.
Okay.
But
to answer that question,
objective things that can be qualified. Yeah, but something like this, I'm very curious about what he's gonna say.
well, over the course of my career on YouTube, I've extensively covered the Dragon Ball franchise, dissecting its themes, characters, and plot structures. And if you were to have asked me,
what is the theme of Dragon Ball?
Adventure
in the beginning.
Overcoming your limits is one that people cite a lot. Not letting things.
Can I just say that's a real oxymoron? Because if it's a limit, you can't overcome that.
Breaking through your limit. How about
There's
that?
no such thing.
Yes, there is.
Because it's a limit.
No. There's Limit Breaker Bardock. That's a thing. He exists.
Again.
We would have to watch those. But again, it's all just whatever you want it to be. The theme of the Buu arc. Letting the next generation handle things. And then, no, it's not. Here comes Goku again. So what is the thing? Because that's like half of it, and then what's Gotenks, it's just like...
maybe the theme is humanity in that one. Because Boo turns good because of the humanity of Hercule, and the Earth is saved simply because of humanity.
Working together.
Maybe working together.
Vegito, Gotenks, Earth being saved like that.
We should all work together to save the planet.
What about Cell?
You mean the theme of the Cell arc? No.
Going beyond your limits in the correct way?
No. No. I got nothing. I was about to say, sometimes pacifism is not the answer and there needs to be a little, but that's not even until pretty much the end with Gohan. Because there wasn't pacifism throughout the arc. I got nothing.
I'm going to look this up. I want to see the main themes of each arc. Thank you very much. Let's just go Cell. Hope is the theme of
No!
No matter how dire things may seem, there's always hope. I feel like this is best suited for Trunks and his story. It's truly the darkest arc of the series, but there's a glimmer of hope that you never let go, and in the end, it might just work out.
You can say that for any arc of Dragon Ball. I mean, they fought the strongest in the universe. That's horrible.
There's also somebody just goes change, passing the torch, hope, and sacrifice.
That's the first Dragon Ball Z arc is passing the torch, hope, and sacrifice.
Wow, hope is.
You know why?
Because
the time machine literally just says hope.
You know what? Yeah, people are just hoping this. They are. I guess that's the theme.
I realize we have not talked a lot about this Mark video.
He said the themes of DBZ. You have to think about it, and then you go, "What are the themes of DBZ?" Even being the whole themes are all whatever you make them. We can't even think of. We can't even bullshit something.
I mean, given enough time, I'm sure I could. But off the dome, I got nothing for you.
I've extensively covered the Dragon Ball franchise, dissecting its themes, characters, and plot structures. And if you were to have asked me which one I preferred 1 year ago, I would have said without hesitation Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball. However, over the last year, something happened.
What? You can't leave it there! Oh.
Yeah! During 2020, I dedicated over half a year of my life to blitzing my way through over 1,000 chapters.
Okay, so pause.
This is terrible. You don't consume media this way. But go ahead.
He said that if you asked a year ago, he would say DBZ, but he had not read One Piece. So of course he's gonna say that. But you can't even have an opinion on it if you're not familiar with it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, just
even if he had just read 150 chapters, of course Dragon Ball is better. You've barely consumed any of it. I have not read a single chapter of Demon Slayer. I cannot definitively say Black Clover is better than Demon Slayer because I've not read or consumed anything of Demon Slayer.
It's like the dude that we're debating when he just goes, I can say with certainty that I like Ichigo more than Luffy. And we go, how much One Piece have you read? He goes 30 episodes. What are you...
Yeah, there's no time.
Yeah. But yeah, don't blitzing something like this. I'm not gonna say you shouldn't.
I am.
I'm gonna say that it's not very conducive on enjoyment. You don't let things sit and you don't get to think enough about certain things because somebody like Baby 5. If you look at it in the manga, she's in there for 15, 16 chapters, but you get to think about her and just go, wow, I really like her, and theorize where things are gonna. Theorizing is a good thing because you don't get a whole lot of theorizing as you're just blitzing through something. Yeah, because you're on to the next thing. Something like this, you're
already getting the answers 2 days later.
Yeah, we're weeks out from what does Kaido look like in his hybrid form? Who are these silhouettes?
And you know what's funny? I was just thinking about this. People have not gotten mad that we haven't seen the form because so much other crap is going on that it's just I totally just stopped being mad about where's my Enkaido form. Because the second that happened, I was like, you can't leave it like that, Oda. And then he left it for that, for like 5 weeks.
That banger of a Robin chapter. You go, okay, Oda, I guess.
Oh yeah,
you do you, Oda. If this is the level of stuff that we're getting, you do you, Oda.
I was literally thinking about, oh wow, I didn't care about the Enkaido form for like 3 weeks because I had totally just because it was so good that I don't need to care about it.
Yeah, I think that you should definitely let things ruminate with you for a little while.
So can.
Because just, again, like the theorizing. Because if you theorize, oh my goodness, who is this? And then you're right. You're happy because I figured it out. I put the pieces together. And if you're wrong, you go, oh crap, I'm surprised because my expectations were subverted.
As opposed to, again, just getting the answer 2 days later. Like you're reading, let's say, 80 chapters a day. Yeah, that's almost impossible. Let's scale that back a little. Like 30 chapters a day. You're reading 30 chapters a day. In 5 days, you go from chapters 1 to chapter 150. You're gonna get a lot of crap so quickly.
One Piece arcs, characters, and themes accordingly. And if you've seen even one part of that long series, you'll no doubt have heard me say, One Piece's Alabasta arc is the best manga experience I've had in my entire life. My favorite installment so far. Best arc One Piece has... Okay, look, I know, I say that all the time, but it is the best saga for sure. Okay, yeah, this arc was the best. Like, it's absolutely incredible.
Why are you 4 arcs in and going, this is the best
manga experience I've ever had in my life? How much has he consumed?
Are you talking about outside of are you talking about as anime and manga as a whole, or talking about One Piece? That is a very, very good question.
Because he's saying, Alabasta is the best manga experience I've had in my life.
Yeah, I know Alabasta was really good,
but it's not even, to me, the best arc of that area.
Yeah.
I think Arlong Park is better.
I'm gonna see if he has my anime list.
Yeah, because if he's read or consumed 12 series, you don't really have a lot of room to
But if he's coming off of Dragon Ball, going Dragon Ball, he's a Dragon Ball channel, so he must have some invested interest in Dragon Ball. So if he's just thinking about Dragon Balls and their themes and stuff, and then something comes along that's double, triple its quality, then when you're comparing Saiyan arc, where it's just here comes these baddies, let's fight, to something like Dressrosa, where it's this whole big, there's no comparison.
It's also a problem of did he watch things or read things like Yu Yu Hakusho? Because the Dark Tournament, to this day, is one of the greatest arcs in history.
Absolutely. It doesn't look like he has a My Anime list.
Okay.
But, it's just a lot of Dragon Ball.
However, now that I've stepped away from the series and marinated on the topic for a time, I knew that this video would make for an interesting comparison to explore.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm. You're just going through his videos now?
Yeah. He said that he marinated it for a time. He finished Wano 3 months ago. He started up his One Piece journey 9 months ago. All of One Piece in 6 months.
Is this his job?
I believe so. He's got a Patreon. Let's see how well it's doing.
Because if this is his job, I can understand, all you're doing is making videos, so you've got a lot of free time in your day.
No, he doesn't say how much he has, but he does have 1,000 Patreons.
Yeah, so
combine that with his rather large subscriber count and views.
You're probably averaging about 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's probably his full-time job. But still, that's way too much, way too short.
Yes, absolutely.
Explore. So, grab some food, sit back, and get ready to argue in the comments section, because today I will be comparing 2 of the most legendary shonen stories to have ever made their way to the West. Today, I try to answer the age-old question.
Dragon Ball is legendary because it got lucky.
Yep.
Right place, right time.
I would love just like an alternate universe where Dragon Ball didn't exist, but everything else went along its track. Everybody else just sort of figured out the formula. Mm-hmm. Everything is fine exactly as it is, except for Dragon Ball did not exist, and then put Dragon Ball in today. How well would it do? I think that it'd just be like, wow, this is a very middling series.
I feel like it'd be like a Spy X Family or something. Something like people know and people like and appreciate, but it's like ninth in the rankings.
Yeah, it's like this ain't pumping any ratings or anything.
Which is better, One Piece or Dragon Ball?
They're even pretending like Luffy could do anything to Goku. He would be annihilated.
Annihilated. Even just a fun little spar thing. Like, no chance.
In the red corner, a returning champion standing strong with 519 chapters to its name, alongside its main man G that dons the orange gi. We have Akira Toriyama's 1980s martial arts adventure manga, Dragon Ball. And in the blue corner, the current reigning champion with a remarkable 1,005 chapters and counting to its name, alongside the straw hat that's all that, we have Eiichiro Oda's modern high seas adventure manga, One Piece. Which is better? Well, first of all, we gotta figure out what does better mean. One property could have better characters, while another has better visuals or story or sales, etc. So, in order to determine which of these sits atop this mountain, for me, I have to devise a list of topics for each franchise to battle within. So let's begin. Sales. Where better to start this entirely subjective...
Which is better, One Piece or DBZ? Well, let's look at the sales. That has nothing to do with quality.
You're basically going, Justin Bieber is a great artist because he sold more than an actual good artist. Like Phoebe Bridgers.
Sales should not be a category. It's meaningless.
It's absolutely meaningless. Popularity is meaningless when you're trying to look at the quality of something.
Especially when you consider it, you have to. There's so much to consider with sales. DBZ has been around longer, but One Piece has been going on for a long. It's got double the amount of chapters.
You also got to look at something like merchandising and video games. Dragon Ball has had so many more video games that people have consumed and stuff. So much more merchandising, and America is like the number 2 market for anime and stuff, and Dragon Ball eclipses anything over here.
Yeah, there's so much. No, don't make this.
Don't do sales. I don't care about DVD sales. I don't care about manga sales. Dude, whenever I'm talking about One Piece, how many times do you hear me mention, oh, it sold like 500 million chapters?
Irrelevant.
Contest than with an objective metric. Total worldwide manga sales figures. Manga sales are something that are...
Yeah, okay, you're saying an objective metric. The numbers themselves are subjective because a lot of times it's estimates based off how many things the stores have bought and such. Mm-hmm. So even that's subjective.
And plus, there's also the fact of DBZ was going on in the 80s, the 90s, and there was really no internet. Now people can just pirate it and still get the same content.
On top of that, it has so much less competition to go against it. There's all these factors that play into...
Just don't do this.
Just don't do sales. What's the point?
Easily measured, and in this instance, the numbers do not lie. One Piece comfortably sits atop this mountain as the best-selling manga series ever created. However, it did so after dethroning Dragon Ball, who had, up until that point, been at the top spot for well over a decade. And even as I write this, Dragon Ball, despite having finished in 1996, is still in the number 2 spot, right beneath One Piece. But you might be thinking, One Piece has been...
Okay, you say right beneath One Piece, but One Piece is at 400 million and Dragon Ball is at 280. That's 120 million difference. Don't just say right below just because
that's a big below.
One artist sold 1 million records and the next artist sold 120,000 records, but they're number 2. Like, it doesn't...
These are the 2 tallest people on Earth. This dude is 12 feet tall and this dude is 8 foot. Like, yeah, this dude's pretty tall, but...
For over 20 years, and that's sort of an unfair advantage if you consider the fact that Dragon Ball's lifespan was only 11.
Yes, exactly! Then why do you have it here? We might as well just have, let's look at which one is better. Which one has more manga chapters out? Which one has more movies? This is irrelevant!
And was only 11. So, in other words, in order to see which was truly the bestseller of its time, let's see how 11 years of One Piece sales stack up when compared to the 11 years of Dragon Balls. And the results to this were honestly shocking. Mostly because no one seems to know when One Piece overtook Dragon Ball. This monumentally important moment in pop culture history seems to have been lost to the webs of time. People always say One Piece is the highest selling manga and that it overtook Dragon Ball to achieve that, but no one seems to know when it happened. It just happened sometime vaguely between 2005 and 2015, I guess. This wasn't good enough to answer which sold more, and to be honest at this point, I wanted to try to figure this out for the internet, and I did find an answer. Eventually. This took over 5 hours of research through weird translation websites,
for no reason,
admins of various fan sites, and I even scoured through the web for any articles on the topic dating back as far as 2010. And spoiler alert, there weren't any. Thanks to the weird Japanese translation website, I was able to learn that by the year 2000, Dragon Ball had sold over 126 million copies of its manga. This means that it had sold less than that by the time it ended in 1996. And since One Piece started in 1997, now all I needed to do was find the late 2000s total worldwide sales figures for One Piece. This proved to be near impossible. There was an ocean of articles talking about seemingly every other achievement or milestone that One Piece attained, but not the achievement. For some reason, no one was talking about this. I had honestly no idea why no one ever documented this information for easy to find consumption online.
Does not matter.
In my despair, as a last-ditch effort, I sent out a tweet to all of you. To be frank, I was ready to scrap the video entirely. But then...
You were about to scrap the video because you couldn't figure out when One Piece sold more than Dragon Ball. This is ridiculous. What? There is no correlation between something selling more and being better. Go ahead.
It's 1 point. That doesn't even need to be a point.
Upgrade is one of the best movies I've seen in years. It barely made budget. Then you look at this bullshit like Suicide Squad, Bats v Soups. But they suck. How many look at what Transformers did. Do you think those are good movies? Just look at
which is better, Upgrade or Transformers? Well, first off, let's look at the box office. You'd be like, what? No.
Of questionable sources sent my way, one very old web domain was submitted. It was from 2008, exactly 11 years after One Piece was released. Hands shaking in anticipation, I frantically scrolled down the page past all the useless information, and then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. I swear, if my fiancé wasn't sitting right next to me as I write this, I'd tell you all that this was the single most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I have this fine individual to thank. Some heroes don't wear capes. Thank you. At Bweezy Bird, you're doing God's work. With this vital missing piece of the puzzle, I could then...
How many points is he gonna have? Because this has been going on for quite a while.
Why did he like his own tweet?
you know.
With this vital missing piece of the puzzle, I could then confirm, I think perhaps for the first time on YouTube it feels like, and definitively say that One Piece dethroned Dragon Ball in 2009. But more importantly, not only has One Piece sold more than Dragon Ball, but it also did so in a much shorter span of time. In 11 years, Dragon Ball managed to sell somewhere under 126 million copies, and in that same time, One Piece sold 140 million. Odds are you heard it here first, folks. The first point goes to One Piece. The story.
One Piece got a point because it sold more than Dragon Ball in a comparable amount of time.
That is correct. That is a point to One Piece being better than Dragon Ball.
Because more people bought it.
Yes.
Okay,
this
but
is what he's saying.
You're looking at pure manga sales. What about as a media franchise? Because I think Dragon Ball is at something like $600 million, something like that, and One Piece is like $200 million. Like, it's a ridiculous gap. What about something like that? Or are we?
Why are we just looking at manga sales, movies?
You're trying to
DVDs.
determine which is better, not which manga is better. Which is better? Because you're talking about visuals and stuff. So why are you just looking at manga sales as opposed to media franchise sales?
Dragon Ball and One Piece are both kings of the shonen realm, but there's only room for one true king in terms of story.
This isn't an argument.
This isn't an argument. There's nothing to argue here.
Yeah.
What makes a good shonen story? The answer? For me, it's growth. Whether that be...
Wow.
So as long as somebody's growing, it has to be good. Natsu grows. Naruto grows. Who doesn't grow?
Through high seas adventure or fighting across the galaxy, shonen predominantly, I think, is best described as growth through conflict. And while physical conflict often takes the lead within these narratives in shonen storytelling, they are...
Isn't this any fantasy story?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then again, is he just talking about shonen or shonen action? Because Scat Dance...
He's saying whether it's through, I guess, character growth could be.
One of my favorite things ever. Scat Dance has very, very little growth. It's just a fun comedy series. And it's shonen, and it's amazing. What would you say about that? What about just dumb slice of life stuff where there's not growth? And it's still technically shonen. Are you talking about shonen battle? Because there's a difference.
Shonen storytelling, they are stories first and foremost. So, how does One Piece measure up to Dragon Ball in that respect? Dragon Ball's narrative remains largely straightforward, with its moments of interest coming from character interactions and choices. It explores interesting themes through characters like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan, among many others, and has produced some of the cornerstone moments
amongst
in
the
anime.
rest.
Guy, Vegeta theme.
Oh, come on. Vegeta's easy. You could just do, growth.
Growth,
You could
yes.
do change.
Yes, you can.
You could do acceptance. Dude, there's...
No, I'm saying that's how easy themes are.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's where you were going.
Yes. It's so nebulous that you can point to 2 or 3 instances and go, wow, this is Vegeta's character and theme.
I've said it before, but Oceanus has a whole video on this where you look at one thing, you try to find something that matches up to that, and that's a theme. There's your theme for your video.
Among many others, and has produced some of the cornerstone moments in anime culture as a whole. For me,
Wait,
the strongest...
he goes the theme of people like Vegeta and Piccolo. Is that really story? Wouldn't this be like in the character category?
Yeah. On top of that, isn't the theme of Piccolo and Vegeta very similar?
Yeah. I mean, one of them.
Stretching the series spans from the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai up until the climax to the Frieza and Goku fight. There are a lot of great moments both before and after this, but for me, the writing in the series was always at its strongest during this portion. The dialogue was quippy, the motivations were strong,
Pause. Dialogue doesn't matter. You said what makes a good shonen story is change.
Growth.
It's growth. That doesn't matter. This is the story category. You don't put that into any kind of perspective there.
But the dialogue could advance the story.
Sure.
And help it.
Sure, but that's not what he said. He said change.
Growth.
Growth, whatever he said. I mean, it's the same. It's not the same at all.
An iconic scene after the next. However, with that
Did you hear him? Did you hear him?
You know why these scenes are iconic? Because the large portion of anime fans these days grew up watching this, and it was cool.
Yep. It was cool then when you were a child and you clapped, and then you hold on to that feeling without thinking about it. Good.
Iconic moment after iconic moment. I can think of two in the areas of Dragon Ball that you laid out, which would be the beam struggle and Goku transforming.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Gohan transforming, you remember that?
No. He said the 23rd and the end of Frieza. Between those two, what iconic moments happened in Dragon Ball? The beam struggle and Goku transforming. Not one iconic moment after another, because the two things he showed was the beam struggle and Goku transforming.
I could make an argument for Goku appearing on Namek and the capsule opening up and him standing there.
Really? Because I was thinking more when he landed in front of Frieza, because that was cool. But I wouldn't say the capsule opening up is iconic. Raccoon's butt.
Look, anybody could say anything is iconic.
Everything is
as
iconic.
long as it's iconic to you, you could be like, oh, him just standing there while Berter and Jace were just moving around.
Here's the thing about iconic. It literally can be fitted into anything, because iconic is just a thing that pertains to an icon. And an icon can be anything. You can have a gay icon, as in this is an icon for gay people. You can have a black icon. You can have a shonen icon. Anything can be iconic. The word means nothing anymore.
Has been ongoing for over 20 years and is still producing top-tier material today. I'm
Whole Cake Island top 3 arc.
It's my favorite arc.
even of the opinion that the current arc of One Piece, Wano, is in the running for the best arc the series has ever produced, having only now recently looked...
Maybe top 5?
Top 5. I would say top 5.
I'd have to think about it.
It's got Odin.
Odin is tremendous.
It could just be
Okay,
Oda
what's around
drawing
it?
pictures of butts for 400 chapters, and then Odin, and then 400 more chapters of butts, and I still be like top 5.
So what's the force surrounding it?
Whole cake.
Whole Cake.
Water 7.
Mm-hmm. I'm partial to Thriller Bark, but
Thriller Bark is I'd say I'm gonna not making any fans here, but I'd go Skypiea.
I like Skypiea. I think people had a problem with Skypiea because it felt very long at the time. But going back to it, it's a really good, quick, breezy type of thing. I was surprised by the episode count and the manga chapter.
Yeah, it's not super long at all. Now, if we're talking about pure subjective, get Long Ring Island right up in there.
Really?
Foxy's my dude. That's just some good comedy, good character interactions. You've got
Chopper being a beast.
a whole lot of good moments.
Robin just like, this mask fits great. I can't go without Arlong Park.
Arlong Park, yeah. We might have to do this one day.
One day. This is not the day for it.
The reviews I made for One Piece. It's remarkable how often the show would surprise me and how brilliant Oda...
At what point do you...
Surprise, expectations, subversion, and...
At what point do you stop being surprised? Because I'm not really surprised anymore. I'm just like, this is all just 5-star stuff.
Nope. I disagree. I was super surprised with in Odin.
Yeah, of course. No, of
That's
course.
what I'm saying.
No, he's going arc by arc. He's surprised that it keeps surprising him, just going like, this is an amazing arc.
I don't know if that's what he said, or if it's just pure surprise. Hold on.
Reviews I made for One Piece. It's remarkable how often the show would surprise me and how brilliant Oda is for planting seeds and structuring how his story.
Yeah, no,
How
it's just
often
pure.
the show is surprised. Okay, no, that's fine then. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times my jaw is on the floor.
Me and how brilliant Oda is for planting seeds and structuring how his story will grow long into the future.
Morgans!
Famously did not do this with Dragon Ball, instead opting to make it up as he went. One Piece does have its low points, but even taking them into consideration,
You shouldn't throw.
You gotta say what the low points are. You can't just show stuff, because if you're talking about Thriller Bark, we got words.
No, if you're talking Fishman Island, I agree with you.
New Fishman.
If you're talking about potentially Punk Hazard, even though I like Punk Hazard, I could see people not liking Punk Hazard. Dressrosa's long, I can understand it. There are ones I can get. Don't show Thriller Bark.
No.
them side by side, there's
But you know what? Thriller Bark is like the typical weeb response of what's a not good arc in One Piece. People really don't like Thriller Bark.
Really?
Yes. People, as in casual fans of One Piece, do not like Thriller Bark.
Thriller Bark is amazing.
I think the problem was it was coming off of Water 7, and in the anime, that's when the pacing started to get a little, ugh.
putting them side by side, there's way more going on a narrative level in the world Oda created. I love Dragon Ball's story, but in this case, it's not even close.
Not
this is to
even
take
close.
nothing away from Dragon Ball, as it did
No,
a lot
take
of
a-
amazing things, but
take a
One
lot
Piece
away
has
from
set
it.
a whole new standard.
Seriously.
And because of this,
It has a story.
The visuals. While the story makes up a massive portion of most shonen, many are often defined by the reception to their action set pieces and visuals. And now that I've become a reviewer of sorts, one of my biggest fears when picking up a new manga to critique is that its layouts and artwork will prove to be less helpful and more of an obstruction standing in the way of me understanding the story. Manga is a visual medium first and foremost, and if you don't make use of the visuals, you may as well have written a book, in my opinion. People read their manga for vastly different reasons. However, for me, I hold paneling, clarity, and art in extremely high regard, and I've mentioned this numerous times in almost all of my reviews. Dragon Ball is for me a gold standard in this department. If you haven't read Dragon Ball and only watched it, I highly recommend opening a random page from the series to observe how easy it is to get sucked into it. While Akira Toriyama wasn't as standout as One Piece on a narrative level, from a visual and layout standpoint, I'd consider Akira Toriyama a genius. The sense of suspense, energy, rhythm, and pacing he managed to inject into his work is something I miss most from modern manga. And while Eiichiro Oda's paneling, particularly towards the beginning, was great, as the series went on, the panels, instead of enhancing the story, became more and more of an obstacle for me that got in the way of engaging with the story during many sections of its serialization. And let it be...
Could you explain that a little bit more, please?
You are very vague with this.
The paneling got to be more of an obstruction to you. I'd really like you to explain exactly what you mean. Because Toriyama himself has famously said that he cut a lot of corners when it came to that stuff. And he would just kind of let the readers make some up in their own mind. I would really like you to explain that. Because that giant spiral staircase in One Piece, that
Panel
panel...
Sparrow, that's one of my favorite panels of any manga. It's breathtaking. And he didn't need to do it.
Wasn't that the one where he had did like 7 double pages?
Yeah.
It was just like,
It's
oh,
like, here's all the underworld people. Here's this Panel Sparrow going. Here's this candy escalator. Dumb stuff. But yeah, it's very vague in the stuff that you're talking about. You just go open up any page of DBZ and you'll be blown away by how the paneling works. I could just say that with One Piece and nothing really changes. What are you talking about? It's explain yourself. Just go look, show like a character introduction. Side by side. Don't do the Super iPad Wolf stuff where he just takes 2 completely random scenes out of context. Show 2 character introductions, important characters, like Nami and Bulma, something like that. Early in the stuff, and just go, look how this is done, look how this is done. Do fight scenes. Look how this is done, look how this is done. But you just go open any page and you will see. One Piece, it ain't catching me like this. So visuals go to DBZ.
me that got in the way of engaging with the story during many sections of its serialization. And let it be known
that would be a perfect example of just go, look at how messy this page is. And explain yourself going like, oh, there's too many speed lines. This character is too small. They're too far to the left. The eye is focused here. There's stuff that you can do here. You've shown no examples. You just said, open any page and DBZ is fly.
Dragon Ball shining through here either. While I heavily praise the original run of Dragon Ball for its layouts, I also heavily criticize Dragon Ball Super's manga as well as recognize the deterioration in layouts towards the end of the series in the Buu saga.
Yeah, he was done.
That into consideration.
That's great.
Okay, I really don't know what the difference of the two here are.
It's a character introduction. It's a bunch of people sensing something. That's not at all fair.
But again, what's the difference of the paneling itself?
I guess you could say that, look how Tama's just in the middle, and then you got her up. She's sort of melding into the top left.
He's always done that.
He's always done it. And I'm sure DBZ has done that as well. But this doesn't tell me anything. This is such a vague argument that it's not even worth talking about.
Saga. However, even taking all of that into consideration, much the same way it wasn't a contest for One Piece in the story department, Dragon Ball easily takes a
By some vague metric of the panel work, Dragon Ball is better with visuals?
Not how the characters are designed, not how they're implemented in the visuals, not how they change their outfits, looks, anything. Not how certain One Piece has a lot of same face going on. None of that.
Like, if you could straight up just say, hey, the women look terrible, and there's a lot of same face. You could say that, as in terrible proportion wise. You could say that as the series goes on. I would accept that. Okay, you know what? You're correct. It really does look ridiculous. Their bodies are awful. And there's you got if you put Rebecca and Nami next to each other, couldn't tell you the difference.
That's the stuff that you could say.
Not the panel work and clarity in the panel work and all this stuff. What are you talking about?
Vagaries. Hold your commenter. I know it's subjective, but he has not explained himself properly.
Okay.
He's doing such a piss poor job.
On top of that, he used one of the latest chapters of One Piece, one of the latest arcs, and then you're gonna use some random Cell arc, boy? What?
This round. I love One Piece, but Dragon Ball, even outside of this contest, is still one of the most superbly laid out mangas I've ever...
The visuals. Here's why Dragon Ball is better in visuals. The panel work is laid out exceptionally.
To this day. Moving on. Imagine, I can't even say imagine somebody opening a video with this. He's done it. You're trying to explain yourself and you're just showing a couple panels on screen and just going, you get it. Look at how well this is laid out. Is Goku standing there and is Frieza standing there?
Read through.
You see, because it's halfway through the video. These are the eye catchers.
Oh!
Main characters. One of the most surprising aspects...
Are we having a laugh here?
No comparison.
Are we just
fast forward.
What are we doing here?
Just fast forward.
Is this serious? Is he gonna do the world? Because if he's
not doing the world. Okay, so far we've gotten sales, and that took up a chunk of time.
Big chunk.
We've had sales, we've had visuals, and we've had stories. Now we're having main characters. Are we talking about side characters? Are we talking about arcs?
Are we talking about Luffy versus Goku? Or are we talking about the Z Fighters versus the Straw Hats?
Aspects for me while I was writing this video was how definitive I felt about almost every topic. When it came to sales, story, and visuals, all of these aspects I had come to a conclusion on prior. I just needed to formulate my thoughts more clearly on them. However, this one was by far...
Hold on. He's about to say this was a hard choice. Keep going. Go ahead.
How could you have formulated your opinion on cells if you needed 5 hours of research?
Huh?
My thoughts more clearly on them. However, this one was by far the most difficult section to both articulate my feelings on and ultimately make a decision for. This is probably due to the nostalgic...
This is probably due to the nostalgic nature. There you go. Now, I was just about to say, he could say that it'd be difficult to articulate what his decision is,
That's
but
what I
the
would've
decision
understood.
itself is obvious. I can understand you going, I can't really separate how I feel about Goku. Because I've said, I don't know how good Erased is, because there's so much in there that speaks directly to what I love. So I can't even be like, yeah, it's good, yeah, it's bad. I don't know.
But it's good for me.
Yes. So I can see him going, I gotta try to separate how I feel about Goku. But you write down Goku's pros and cons. It's just...
Just look at the awesome stuff they've done. Just look at the thick... Dude, there's no comparison.
None.
Now, I would have a hard choice of someone like Yusuke and Luffy.
Mm-hmm.
That one I would be like, but Luffy Goku is not even close.
Nothing.
4. This is probably due to the nostalgic nature I hold Dragon Ball in and how impressive and likable I found One Piece to be last year. But
Dude, Luffy's just like, this is so cool and it's hilarious.
At what point in your life do you just go, this nostalgia stuff is over? I need to look at this stuff as objectively as possible. What point do the feelings just go away? When do you lose that feeling?
You tell me one thing that Goku has ever done that's as good as Luffy bowing his head to Boa Hancock. You tell me one thing Goku has ever done that was close to that.
to make a decision, and with a heavy, conflicted heart, I have to give this one to One Piece's Luffy. But before you set my channel on fire, allow me to explain myself. One Piece is directly inspired.
Okay, let me stop this real quick. You go, it was hard to make a decision, but the decision is One Piece. There was no explanation beforehand, and now you're about to bail in the explanation? Why?
By Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball.
Who cares
and because
if
of
it's
this,
inspired
both
by
Luffy and Goku share a ton of traits in common with each other, both from the energy they...
Okay, a lot of characters and a lot of source materials shares traits with each other. How are they implemented?
Yeah. Are you telling me that no other character in the history of anything can be an upbeat, cheerful, but sometimes serious person without going, oh my goodness, it's directly inspired by... Yeah, we know that One Piece was inspired by Dragon Ball, but that doesn't mean that they
exhibit in pursuing their goals, to their tenacity and their love for their friends. They definitely have more in common than they have aspects that are distinct, if you ask me.
You are crazy.
However, in the small ways that they are different, I managed to formulate my decision. Through interviews, Akira Toriyama has come out and saying that a fundamental piece of Goku's personality that people often don't recognize is the small but very present poison in his character. This is the aspect of Goku's personality that will lead him to pursue the story in a really fun and interesting ways. However, it will also oftentimes lead him to pursue dangerous circumstances in lieu of a much more safe and stable life for his family and friends. He will give a senzu bean to Cell. He will stay dead for longer to get more training.
Toriyama says people don't talk about this?
People talk about this quite a lot.
He will routinely leave and alienate himself from his family and friends in search of better fights. The ending to Dragon Ball's original run, while I thought it was fitting for the series, still felt strange to discover that Goku didn't keep in touch with almost anyone in his life. And for me, that aspect of his personality can be...
It's terrible.
No, because in the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, they go, hey Goku, we haven't seen you in like 5 years.
Still terrible though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's consistent.
It's consistently terrible. Goku is a terrible friend and father. It's just that simple.
Don't tell me that he's not.
Sure, he'll
oh my
protect
goodness,
his
look at
friends
all
and
these
stuff.
times that he's hugging Gohan and protecting him. Yeah, but he's still terrible. If I hit my kid and then take him out for ice cream, am I still a bad dad?
Goku is a terrible friend because, again, he doesn't keep in contact with his friend. He doesn't care. He wants to fight. He wants to train. If they're in danger, he'll go running. But beyond that, you're good for a laugh.
There's no one reason why that one line of "I haven't seen you in 5 years" should have been there. That's literally his oldest friend. Why not? Somebody explain that to me. What justifiable reason would he not have to pop in and go, "Hello, my oldest friend who has helped me save the universe multiple times in 5 years"? Not once.
Anyone in his life. And for me, that aspect of his personality can be frustrating or disillusioning at times. Luffy, on the other hand, doesn't share this trait at all. Instead, motivated to keep his friends safe and to reach his goal too. And I think...
Is this the only thing that he's distinguishing that pushes Luffy above Goku? I hope it's not.
He has all the good of Goku with none of the bad.
I hope it's not.
If you were to ask Luffy to choose between never seeing his friends again and becoming king of the pirates, he'd make the decision without even thinking. However, when it comes to...
Yeah, he bowed his head to Boat Hancock and said, "Oh great, you're gonna fix them? Awesome!
Cool.
Don't need a boat. Glad you're gonna
figure
fix
it
them."
out.
To Goku, if you asked him to choose between seeing his friends again and a fight with the strongest person in the universe, I really think you'd have to think about it for a second. As a character, Goku, I think, is phenomenal and offers a nuance that still escapes many of the modern writers today.
Again!
Come on,
he's
dude.
phenomenal and you're just saying stuff!
What
nuances? Tell me, why are you just showing Ultra Instinct? That's a state of mind that anybody can accomplish.
Roshi did in the manga, and almost anybody could do it.
What is this?
As long as you calm your heart and mind.
What new? You gotta explain yourself. These vagaries always piss me off. Say what you mean. Man,
Goku
imagine nobody ever seeing DBZ and going, which one do I want to read? One Piece or DBZ? Goku has a lot of nuances. Moving on. That are not even present in today's manga. Moving on.
I guess I should have to watch his other videos on Goku to figure out what he's talking about.
And then he shows a form, not a moment. Not him like hugging Chi-Chi or anything. A form.
Super and its manga, however, still escapes many of the modern writers today in Super and its manga, however...
What?
What? You have to ask that. If you have to ask that, this ain't good. Imagine if we just went, nah, One Piece is boring. DBZ is boring. Characters are bad. Moving on. Your comments will be exploded. Like, what y'all mean? Yo, Haikyuu sucks. Discuss it in the comment. In the comments.
You really are pissed.
I'm pissed. It's vagaries that always piss me off like this.
Vagaries and a lack of explanation.
Because there's nothing to say against this.
There's nuances to Goku characters that mangaka for Dragon Ball Super don't understand. Moving on. Instead That's
of
why
explaining
Goku's
it
phenomenal.
And having a dialogue and me trying to debunk what he's talking about, I can only be like, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
Occasions, Luffy has demonstrated a straightforward purity that has moved...
I'm not eating a single thing till you get back here.
I can't become the Pirate King without you.
Which is not really true.
Not at all. But he believes it.
He believes it.
It's not that he can't become it. He's just going, you're my crewmate. I have to protect you. And if I can't protect you, I'm not worthy of being the Pirate King. So I can't become the Pirate King if I can't protect you.
Tears more times than I care to count. And for that reason, as well as what I've said here, I have to give the point to Luffy and One Piece.
Can you go back a little bit?
The
Where
supporting.
he says something supporting. Okay, sir. Yeah, go back where he says brought me to tears. Did he say Luffy brought him to tears?
Yeah,
or One Piece?
Luffy's purity.
Occasions, Luffy has demonstrated a straightforward purity that has moved me to tears more times than I care to count. And for that reason, as well as what I've said here,
more than times did he care to count. No explanations, no examples, no nothing. Luffy wins because he doesn't have that one flaw that Goku has. Otherwise, they're the exact same characters.
I gotta
moving on.
He's talking about that in Whole Cake Island moment where Sanji comes
absolutely.
back. But
Great
then
moment.
that also leads me to believe that he was talking about Thriller Bark when he was talking about Lowe's.
We can only assume here.
And that's just a no.
I have to give the point to Luffy and One Piece.
Have to.
The supporting characters.
Not
No
close.
contest.
Dragon
No.
Ball has a lot of really good supporting characters that are underexplored or explored or barely explored, which would still be underexplored. They're underexplored. Launch could have been great,
Yep.
but he just straight forgot her.
And DBZ, what does Yamcha want? Tien just wants to be stronger, but at a certain point, when does he lose hope? Just like, yo, this ain't even worth it anymore.
They're in the realm of gods.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? I got a school now.
So Tien just wants to be stronger. Yamcha, big couple question marks. Krillin just wanted a wife or a girlfriend. He got that, and then I guess he just wants to protect them.
Krillin's cool though.
Yeah, I like Krillin. Krillin's great.
Hercule's great.
Hercule's great. These
Gohan was
Gohan was in moments.
No. I'm talking about Gohan goes to school. Gohan.
Okay.
Gohan was great, but they didn't want that. Y'all didn't want that. Y'all wanted Cell Gohan back. Cause him was cool, cause him was strong.
Gohan, to me, is the best when he's not fighting.
When he's not doing
When
nothing.
he came up with Chi-Chi, he just got that dumb suit and his bowl cut. He just going, shut up, everybody. And they're all just laughing at great stuff. When Dende is getting on Namek, when they're just hiding, and Krillin's just like, don't, no power, nothing. And he's just like, I'm gonna these muffs up. That crap is great. Stuff like that is great. But him charging up and blasting Frieza, I'm like, of course it's just another big power monkey moment. There is no reason why the Boo fight should have gone down like that.
No.
He clearly did not learn from Cell. It is almost a 1-to-1 comparison, and it happens again. It should not have happened. And guess what? It happens the first time, his dad died. It happens the second time, Piccolo, Goten gets absorbed.
And later he himself gets absorbed.
Which led to Vegeta, which led to them going in, which led to them being ripped out, which led to Kid Buu, which led to the Earth being destroyed.
Let's not forget that Gohan played a phenomenal game of baseball and then fumbled the bag on the earring when Goku tossed it. Gohan sucks.
Gohan sucks.
But the moments he was great, when he wasn't fighting, he was amazing.
He is a dork. Let him be a dork. But
It's the same thing with Superman. Everybody wants this dark and bullshit.
That's not
Superman is a dork. Just let him be a dork. Let Gohan live.
Them people were not up for that school stuff. And that school stuff is good stuff because it's just dumb character comedy stuff. Gohan and Videl, 5-star stuff there.
Bro, they're amazing together. And you know, Gohan has his suit his Saiyaman suit just practicing poses in the mirror like, this is cool. He goes to the bad guys and they're like, that is the lamest thing I've ever seen. And they're just making fun of him. And he stabs the ground like, shut the f up. This is an amazing costume and I look cool as...
Great stuff there. He's not just a fight man like Goku. He's its own distinct, separate character.
Or he was, but people don't want
But
that.
people don't want that.
They want Goku Jr. They don't want Gohan. They want Goku Jr.
The last section, this one was actually quite easy. Dragon Ball has not only some terrific supporting characters, but also has some of my favorite characters in all of fiction. Piccolo, Bulma, Gohan, Vegeta, Tenshinhan,
DBZ
Mr.
just
Satan.
wins.
He can't be saying DBZ wins on supporting characters.
No, he's saying this is easy. It has some of his favorite characters.
You know what? He's gonna go, but One Piece is better.
No.
He can't. There's no other option.
Winner picks the next video.
I'm down.
All right.
All of these are iconic in their own way and offer vastly different dynamics to the story at large. However, Dragon Ball is let down in one fundamental aspect, and that's that the supporting cast a lot of the time either becomes irrelevant or they become something that offers less utility within the ever-changing story. One Piece, on the other hand, has arcs of story dedicated to each of the Straw Hat Pirates as Luffy meets and befriends all of them. In addition to that, Eiichiro Oda goes to tremendous lengths to not only include these characters consistently, but
Young lady, who plans on dying?
People, I don't know what is wrong with people. They don't want Brooke. They don't deserve Brooke.
They don't deserve Brooke. They don't deserve Usopp. Cause do you know how many times I see Usopp bottom 3 in people's who's your favorite Straw Hats?
They don't deserve.
They don't deserve Usopp. Y'all don't deserve Carrot. And then Carrot's fighting Pesaro, and she just beat the up, and it's just like, you couldn't avenge him, you suck. And she's just crying, and it's heartbreaking. But y'all don't want that.
Y'all
want Jinbei.
This is what we want.
Y'all just want another strong guy. Not the potential to be strong, not a great character, another strong guy.
That's all they want.
And then everybody in the series has to turn their head and go, oh my god, Jinbei's part of that crew? Shut up! You're Law and your kid and you're going, they got Jinbei? Shut up!
He is a dude.
He is a guy!
Some dude.
He is some strong guy!
Both Law and Kid have a higher bounty. So why are they freaking out?
Y'all don't deserve this!
Law was a Shichibukai. What is he freaking out about? He's just some dude.
And they gotta dumb down Nami to give Jinbei a moment? Don't act like that's not what happened! Don't act like she didn't see that whirlpool and say we're dead, and Jinbei's like, oh, Fishman kids riding this all the time. Nami navigated typhoons when they got to the New World. You think she can navigate through that? No, Jinbei.
Jinbei, though. We're not ready for this.
And every time he smiles, it looks wrong.
It looks so
Stop
fake.
with that wide grin that you expect the Straw Hats to have. It looks incorrect. I hope he's a traitor, and I hope he stabs Luffy in the back, and I hope he dies.
One of those will happen.
He's probably gonna die.
100%.
To not only include these characters consistently, but also makes them essential and
What a
fundamental.
hilarious moment.
Great
Wait a
character
second,
stuff.
it's incomplete. Nico Robin, hop on.
And then you just have to look at this and go, what was the plan? What attacks could you possibly formulate like this? It's dumb character stuff like that in the middle of this big dire fight that is so 5 stars.
Dude, Kaku and Zoro is
It's a beast of a fight.
It's just monsters fighting, and then it's so much comedy within. The levity of One Piece in these completely serious and dark moments is tremendous.
Those 3 faces in the face of Big Mom's fireballs killed me.
I died. Legitimately.
They're all just like, whoever moves first is a weakling. I'm not doing this.
I guess you're the weakling here.
Hilarious. In the middle of facing off against 2 Yonkos for the fate of basically a whole entire town, kind of the world, is this dumb comedy moment.
This dumb game of chicken. And they all got hit. And Zoro's like, what are y'all doing?
That's my favorite Zoro. My favorite Zoro is Cut the Bush Zoro.
And he was straight cut the bush. What are y'all doing? Y'all see what we up against? What the? And y'all playing chicken? Like, what's going on?
And fundamental aspects to the victories Luffy ultimately achieves in them. Over 1,000 chapters later, and characters like Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji are all still just as crucial today as they were back then. Perhaps even more so. And that is something I can absolutely not say for the likes of Yamcha, Tenshinhan, and Piccolo.
Okay, pause. So, he's arguing the usefulness of the characters within the series, but he said that the Dragon Ball characters are some of his favorite of all time.
Yeah, the characters themselves are great to him, but they're not doing a lot.
I know. What is this subjective or objective? What is his criteria here? Because his criteria for the art was very subjective. What are we doing here? It would be believable at this point if you gave it to either one.
This one goes to One Piece. I think I like some...
Dang.
Why?
Dang.
Chef kiss.
Dang.
Why? You thought?
He's a bum.
Yes, he's a bum. But there's no way this could have been anything else.
Then why even have it as a category? There it's either going to be 4 or it's going to be 5 for one, because there's space for one more.
Yeah, it's 5.
Is he going to do villains?
Somebody did say he talked about Cell.
If he does villains, what?
Characters a little more in Dragon Ball, but
No.
He did not just say that.
unfortunately. This one goes to One Piece. I think I like some of the side characters a little more in Dragon Ball.
Okay,
but
that's. I think I like some of the characters a little more than Dragon Ball. What can we say about that? Who, how much versus who? What can we say about that? I think I like some of them a little more. Are you talking about Vegeta versus Chopper? Well, of course. If you're going like that,
I wouldn't even say that. Chopper and Punk Hazard was 5 stars. Chopper in this arc is 5 stars. Chopper in Drum Island is 5 stars. No, I can't.
Vegeta Frank.
Senior Pink.
Yeah, but if you look
Senior
up
Pink.
if you look up moments to moments, Vegeta has more moments than Frankie.
Sure.
And if you're counting it like that, because with all of the vagary and
Frankie has a
that
better past.
if you're
Not alone.
if you're talking about all the vagary, I think I like some of them a little more. I think that he could match up Frankie and Vegeta and pull out Vegeta.
Do you understand how sad that is? That Vegeta is the best character in Dragon Ball, and you're trying to match him up with Frankie? And there's still an argument to be made.
He is. Not me. Because what can you say? What if you were to write a comment about what he just said? I think I like some of the Dragon Ball characters a little more than the One Piece characters. What could you say about that? Who? How much? Who are you comparing it to? Why?